This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Join us for the Friday football feast this week at Buffalo Wild Wings Chanhassen. Be there this Friday as Paul Allen, Eric Nordquist, and Alec Lewis get you set for Vikings versus Lions this week with nonstop football talk, great food and drinks, and your shot at awesome prizes all morning. Doors open at 8 a.m. Get the full details at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Couple of 13-14 pastime comedies tend to be. We'll do NFL Roundup here before the final hour of the program's over. Earlier today was announced that Timberwolves shooting guard Anthony Edwards will be sidelined because of a right hamstring strain he suffered in yesterday's game against Indiana. The team said in the news release, I'm reading from a story from the Fish Wrap Factory West Side. The team said in a news release that an MRI revealed the strain and that Edwards will, quote, be reevaluated in 1 week. And further updates of his progress will be provided when available. Into that quote. The All-Star exited the game after playing just over 3 minutes in the first quarter. He often leaves games, heads to the locker room only to reemerge fine. Minutes later, that did not happen this time. Edwards came back to the bench out of uniform, but wearing sunglasses because he wanted to look cool. And he did. He looked hip now with it, and wow. So now we're without our off guard, shooting guard, whatever you want to call it. We really don't even have a point guard either, do we? Mike Conley is 38. No! And in fact, first game of the season, Roberto DiVincenzo is a former golfer. He was the one that signed the incorrect scorecard in the 1958 Masters or 1959 Masters to get disqualified. Why can't I remember DiVincenzo's first name? Dante DiVincenzo started a point guard. Tenneby, I'm not paying as close attention to the NBA as I once did. I don't think he's a natural point guard. I don't think that's his position. Yet he started there because...
Yeah.
I don't know if... Did Conley need a load management game before the season started? I don't know why he didn't start. Was there an explanation given for that and I just missed it? I mean, he did play in the game, and he played last night. He's played in all 3 games, I believe. But the Dillingham character, he was selected 8th overall, if I'm not mistaken. And wasn't he supposed to kind of be the heir apparent to Mike Conley? And if you're into year number, is this 2 or 3 for Dillingham?
Year 2.
Year number 2.
Yeah.
You're the 8th pick overall. Shouldn't you, now he broke his nose, apparently. Was that last night? Or was it the night before? He broke his nose. And he's going to be out for a little while. You can play with a broken nose, I guess, but...
Wear one of those masks.
Yeah, but I just find it... And I don't think there's really been an explanation from Finch, again, unless I've missed it, maybe somebody that is paying closer attention to the NBA in general and the Wolves specifically can explain to me why the only thing is they just don't think Dillingham's very good right now, right? Otherwise,
they don't have a trust in him.
Yeah, why wouldn't he be playing? And that doesn't bode very well for the club going forward. Now, they didn't have Dillingham last year, and they got to, they had him. He didn't play as much. He played some. He wasn't the main point guard, and they did get to the Western Conference Finals. But the coach said, going into this season, I'm going to play more. I'm going to go deeper into the roster. I'm going to go 10 deep. And I thought that would mean Dillingham would get quite a bit of playing time, as would Shannon Jr. But now we basically are going to be without Edwards for at least a week and maybe 2, because I think you had said that you read somewhere that they actually said 2 weeks.
Well, and now I've seen them even, they're saying they're going to reevaluate him in a week. So the original timetable is 2 weeks, but that's not like, with hamstrings, it's not like a broken bone where, hey, we know this bone's going to heal in X amount of weeks. Hamstrings can get tricky on you. So just because it says 2 weeks doesn't mean we're guaranteed 2 weeks.
Right. So, and again, it's early enough in the year that we know how it works. Teams take games off all the time. The Wolves, as a matter of fact, took off the second game of the season. They decided not to play defense. They decided not to exert any effort, according to DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo and the head coach both said there was little to no effort on the defensive end of the floor, which again is to me it's unforgivable as far as I'm concerned. That you just don't even put out the effort. But already we have a lack of effort. We're going to be without Edwards for at least a week, which means 4 games. Because they play 8 games in the next 2 weeks. So unless he is out 2 weeks, we're going to miss him for 8 games. Now, we won last night without him, but like I say, Indiana was undermanned. I think they were missing 6-7 guys. And sometimes when your star player, he started the game, strains his hamstring, he's on the bench. Sometimes the team rallies around.
It's like a little adrenaline rush.
Yeah, you go, hey, guess what? We got to pick up the slack with Ant out, and so they were able to do that. And Randall was very good last night. Did he have something like 31 points? Is that what he ended up scoring last night, I think?
Yes, 31 points.
So Randall played very well, and they win by 4. But going forward, it will be interesting to see how much playing time Dillingham gets. Conley, again, this is a Fish Wrap West Side. What did it say about Conley? Conley's played limited time, and I just don't know what he's got left at 38 years old, Tenneby. I don't think the Wolves. I don't think. I think they know that. I mean, you like his veteran savvy, and he can give you quality minutes, I'm sure, but
they didn't address it during the offseason, and the heir apparent clearly is not ready yet.
What is it? Look, this one says, fishing with Dillingham, dude has a fractured nose. I know he does. His nose wasn't fractured opening night. He didn't start. He didn't play. They started a guy that doesn't play point guard. They started DiVincenzo. He's not a point guard. Dillingham didn't have a fractured nose. First dude didn't have a fractured nose the first game. There's no fishing. He didn't start the first game, and he was drafted 8th overall last year. He was supposed to be the future point guard of the team, and they didn't even play him. He didn't even get off the bench in game 1, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not fishing. I'm asking legitimate questions. Is he terrible? Why don't they trust him? Did they make a mistake in drafting Rob Dillingham? I know the dude has a fractured nose. That happened yesterday. Or in game 2, but it wasn't in game 1. He didn't play game 1. If I'm not mistaken, it was 0 minutes, game 1, for a second-year player that was drafted 8th overall. Doesn't make any sense to me. Just wondering. If you're trying to tell me we don't have any question marks at the point guard position, I don't think you're paying very close attention. And now we've got Ant out. Now, again, we just toss games away all the time. It's been what this franchise has done forever. We lose to terrible teams all the time just because they played harder than us. So it's, even if we have trouble in the next however long Ant is out, if we have trouble winning games, and let's say he does miss 6-7 games, and let's say in those 6-7 games we go 3-4, 2-5, whatever the case may be, it doesn't mean the season's over, but we saw what happened last year. Now, I know that even though we fell to the 6th seed, we still made it to the Western Conference Finals. I just don't think you want to go into that silly play and stuff. No. And
and if you are an NBA championship contender, you should be able to win games without your star player. You should have other stars and other depth. Because if you can't win without them, then even with them, you're only going to get so far in the playoffs.
Text message. Bradshaw and Brian KFAN text line says, Finch doesn't like rookies. TT, double T, he must be talking about Trent Tucker, right? Doesn't think Dillingham will make a point guard. Maybe make it as a point guard. Maybe he won't. But then that would be, and I think we've really, for the most part, yoga pants, breast, for the most part, Tim Conley has done a nice job assembling a team. When they traded for Gopher, I didn't think it was going to work. But if you'll remember, Tenneby, the day it happened, I said, as bad as this franchise is, I'm willing to try everything, and it worked pretty well. We got to the Western Conference Finals. Then they traded Big Meow, who became Bodega Cat, and I thought that was a mistake. And we still got to the Western Conference Finals. So he's done some nice things, but maybe the Dillingham draft pick was a mistake. We'll have to find out. We'll pause, return. Tenneby has a keyword, though, in our national cash contest.
Yeah, the fan and 2 men in a junk truck want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Just enter the keyword GRAND at KFAN.com now for shot at winning. That keyword is GRAND. Enter now at KFAN.com.
Today. What happened? Just ran out of them? That'll happen.
I always love that.
A number of people have weighed into the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line to say Common needs to calm down. That it's all just I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I really don't care that much, but I that's my job, is to try to be emotional, to be passionate. That's what I do for a living, is we talk about the local sports is your whole life, just sports team. So I have to at least pay close enough attention to be able to at least give a forthright and educated opinion, or at least somewhat forthright and educated opinion, and then to be passionate about it. So, and when it comes to teams not exerting effort, it does annoy me. And then when text messengers misinterpret what I say, it's just, sometimes I feel like I just need to be, it's like being like a stern parent. When you want to get your point across, sometimes you have to raise your voice a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know dude has a fractured nose, but he didn't on the first game of the season. His nose wasn't fractured during the announcements of the starting lineups. He didn't play the first game. Now, what I want to ask you about now, Tenneby, is the New York Yankees and LA Dodgers are both hated by most sports fans because they seem to have, in a non-salary cap league, they seem to have an advantage because they've got their local media money for the rights for their broadcasts are much larger than markets like Milwaukee, Minnesota, et cetera, et cetera. So we hate they have a built-in advantage.
Yeah. Though
I think that can be overcome. We saw the Brewers do it. Now they did get beat by the Dodgers, but they
generally speaking.
In college, it seems like Duke in basketball has an advantage, right? They just get all the good players. And in football, Ohio State, they get all the good players. The Ohio State. Isn't that the way it's supposed to be at the University of Minnesota men's hockey team, too?
Sure.
Aren't we sort of kind of on that level? Did I see this right, or am I looking at the standings sideways? Are we 2-5-1? 2-5-1, and swept by the UMD Bulldogs over the weekend. Now, I'm not a UMD's actually won a national championship, haven't they?
Yes, I think a couple.
Mankato State, have they won a national championship?
Actually, you want proof that UMD has won a national championship?
Yes.
We'll keep playing until someone puts the puck in the net. Lamb on the right side. In the corner, Oleksic. Schmidt now for Oleksic in behind. He centers. Yes! Kyle Schmidt! Cubs have won the championship! UMD has won the championship! Kyle Schmidt with the game winner! Yeah, baby!
I think they were excited. That would be an understatement.
Can I give one small defense of the University of Minnesota men's hockey team?
I'd love to hear
and,
one.
And
sure.
I don't want to defend 2-5-1 because when your tagline is pride on ice, that is not defensible, right? When you're in the state of hockey, 2-5-1 is not defensible. But I will say the Gophers men's hockey team is not out here scheduling like the Gophers football team for their non-conference, right? Their non-conference games are 2 games against North Dakota, which looks like one of the best teams in the country, 2 games against Minnesota Duluth, 2 games against Boston College, right? They're not bringing in cupcakes to play them for their non-conference schedule. So I will at least applaud them for bringing in good competition when they're in the non-conference.
All right. Yeah. All right. I'll
Still 2-5-1 is not acceptable if you're the University of Minnesota.
Because we generally do get, maybe not all the best recruits, but they're readily available to us, correct?
Yes.
A lot of people want to wear the maroon and gold and wear the M on their sweater.
There's not a better place in the entire country to recruit players than in the Twin Cities.
Amen to that. This text message came in. This is interesting. It says, this is from Saul in Blaine. He writes, in a weekend where our 2 football squads left it all on the line, gave their best when their best is required in rowing the boat, we were edged 78-13. College squad can't run block or pass block very well at times. Good luck cultivating a young QB behind this line. The Vikes let 2 QBs that were in-house walk. A veteran Hall of Fame quarterback in Rodgers who would have signed for $10 million, still giving you flexibility to sign a free agent class this year that has done almost nothing. And we were willing to go to bat with McCarthy and Sam Howell, quickly backpedaled and signed Wentz, who sadly is more ready than our bilateral ankle weakness, Joe Mauer of a QB and McCarthy. Our coach and GM completely screwed us in the QB position and look no closer to fixing line problems on both sides. I mean, that kind of does sum it up where we're at with the 2 football teams. For me, it's more disturbing with the pro football team. College, as we just talked about, it's with nil now. Some schools have more nil money than others. It's in pro football. There's a much more level playing field. There is a salary cap. All teams are. They draft from the same pool of players. They sign players from the same pool of free agents. They can sign any coach they want if he's available, and coordinators, offensive, defense, whatever the case may be. But the Vikings, it is this. How many games we have left? Are we 7 and we got 10 weeks left? It's going to be interesting to see how these 10 games pan out. I'm assuming we're done with the Wentz experiment.
I didn't even practice today,
right,
so
because again, even if he was healthy, I'm not sure they would have continued with that. And had he not had the bad shoulder, would he have played better the last couple of weeks? Maybe, but I don't think significantly better where it would have been like, whoa, we got something. I think the Vikings still made the right decision. I know it created a lot of animosity, Tenenby, between you and me and the listeners. They thought you and I were crazy to want to continue to play Wentz. They said, who cares who gives us the best chance to win? This team's not going anywhere, and we need to see if we have the right quarterback. And McCarthy, in our response to that, I think we were in concert here. We said, there's still plenty of time to see what you got in McCarthy. Let's not get carried away. And the head coach must have agreed. Either 2 things were at play there. McCarthy had the high ankle sprain, and I don't know if the coach felt the kid was ready anyways, because they've talked about during this time off with the injury, they're back to working. They're back to the basics, where they're trying to marry his eyes with his feet and getting the foundation and watching Wentz the past few weeks. And the coach talked about hopefully he learned something from Wentz as far as getting rid of the football quickly and not hanging on to it. So by the comments from the coach, it seems like they weren't really sold on McCarthy even really being ready to come back and play, and not so much physically, but just in the X's and O's parts. So, but now, as you and I said, Tenneby, there's plenty of time to watch a play, and now we're going to get that time. Vikings are 3-4. I still think in the locker room, at least publicly, they're going to say, we still think we're in this thing. We're not out of it yet. They got to win some games. And if we win 2 or 3 games, things can change in a hurry. But we're going to get a pretty good look at McCarthy and see what kind of a player he is. And even, I mean, if he's brilliant now, that's one thing. If he struggles, I still don't think that's an indictment on the draft pick or that he's not the guy, because they have more going against them right now than they have for them with a makeshift offensive line, really no running game. The defense is not nearly as good as it used to be. So there's a lot of negatives when it comes to the Vikings, but we'll learn more. I'm assuming he starts on Sunday, so we'll see how it goes. We'll take our final break and come back with more after this here on the Common Man program on the Fan. Past Common Man program. I'm Common. He's Tenneby. Final segment of the Grum today. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock start. PJ Flex Show at 12 noon. Legendary Mark Rosen will join us just before 2 o'clock. Last segment we'll dedicate to the National Football League. It's time for NFL Roundup.
Time now for the NFL Roundup. Yeah!
Yeah, the Atlanta Falcons were taking on the Miami Dolphins, the lowly Miami Dolphins. Now the Falcons, without Michael Penix Jr., without Drake London, a little shorthanded on offense. But who would have thought we would have seen an offensive explosion from Miami?
Second down and 8 from the Falcon 43. Play action fakes. Slant to Waddle. Waddle's got a 20, 10, 5. Touchdown Miami.
What a great fake, and he put it right on the money with Waddle and Stride going across the middle, and nobody was going to catch that man.
The longest tagline ever. The WBGG, WINZ, Miami Dolphins Radio Network. Tua Tagovailoa, 4 touchdown passes, including that one to Jalen Waddle for 46. He had 5 catches, 99 yards, and that touchdown as Miami destroys Atlanta 34-10.
Bijan Robinson held a 25 yards rushing. I'm hoping for spread swing. Deuce and I listened back to what Rosen said because he took Atlanta. Yeah. It's just so good. He was doing the old,
I always love that.
Miami's a hot mess. I can't believe their coach hasn't been fired yet. This has all the makings of a double-digit victory for the Falcons. Now, of course, then we could also play back me saying the easiest game on the board was Steelers beating Green Bay. But, there
was a lot of big gains this week on spread swing from the crew.
You would think it was the most important thing in Deuce's life. He wouldn't stop. I found out if I said, Deuce, I don't care. What was it? Was he texting you?
He has been texting me like every week. Who did Rosen pick? I'm like, I don't even remember, and I'm not going to take the time to go look it up. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't
even remember who I took. And so then he went back. That's how we listen to the Rosen soundbite, because he went back to the
segment. Document it while he does it.
That's exactly what we should do.
Another game we thought was going to be a bad one, and at least turned into an entertaining one. What are you thinking now about the Jets?
Ruckert motions right. The lone setback, Breece Hall. Toss sweep to the right. Breece Hall, he's going to throw the ball. Pumps once, throws back in the end zone. It's caught! Mason Taylor! The option pass right by Breece Hall for a touchdown! And the Jets are a point after away from the lead. Breece Hall has run for 2 and now thrown for 1. The Jets dial up the trick play. It looked like it was stymied after a pump fake Breece Hall threw a "my guy is better than your guy" lob, and Mason Taylor was better.
104.3 in the New York Jets radio network. That was a trick play. Breece Hall, the running back, throws it to Mason Taylor, the tight end, as the Jets, who were down 31-16 going into the fourth quarter, rally for a 39-38 victory.
If you would have watched the celebration afterwards, you would have thought they won the big game. But I get it. You were 0-7, and you really want to win one for the new head coach, Aaron Glenn, who just got the job this year. So, but yeah, for the Bengals, that's devastating because that division, the North, isn't that where the Bengals are?
Yes.
We know how the Ravens, won a game, but we know that division's pretty weak. So that's a bad loss for the Bengals. A bad loss.
The Cleveland Browns defense was saying, "Mayday, Mayday, Mayday."
53 rushing yards for Drake May. Works from the left hash of the 39. He takes the shotgun snap. He's back to throw. He loads up a long ball, lost it downfield. Touchdown! Keyshawn Booty!
What a weapon! Never know.
What a pretty throw.
98.5, the Sports Hub Patriots radio network. Drake May, 282 yards passing, 3 tutties, as the Patriots improved to 6-2. They beat the Browns 32-13, even though they were trailing early in that game.
He was 18 for 25. Lost in the loss was Myles Garrett, 5 sacks.
Yes.
I mean,
poor guy.
That's a career for some guys, or at least a season. He had 5 sacks in the game. That he passed Reggie White and set an NFL record for career sacks by a player under the age of 30 with his first sack in the game. Dylan Gabriel, 21 to 35 for 156, 2 tutties, and was intercepted twice. Youngster in his second or third start.
The Eagles lost to the Giants. It was just 2 weeks ago. They were upset by the New York Giants. They had a chance for a little revenge yesterday. And one Eagles player looked like the 2024 Eagles player on this play.
Hurts under center. Barkley, the single setback. Hurts to Barkley, off left tackle. He's across the 45-50, 45-40. He's going to go! Saquon Barkley finally explodes! 65 yards!
Hello!
Yeah, Saquon Barkley, 65-yard touchdown run. That was Sports Radio 94 WIP on the call. Barkley
94 WIP.
Barkley ended up with 150 yards rushing as the Eagles beat the Giants 38-20.
Cam Scattaboo, rookie running back for the Giants. Good player.
Yeah.
Off to a real nice
start.
He's
a bowling ball.
His foot was pointed the opposite direction.
Not good.
It was awfully ugly. Fracture. I don't know for sure if he's lost for the season, but he's supposed to undergo surgery if he didn't already. And that was an ugly injury.
Yeah, Tyrone Tracy will take over for the Giants in that backfield. Buffalo at least finally looked like the old big game contender Buffalo Bills.
Pause in motion, handoff to Cook, through a hole, and darts into the open, and he is Gone. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, James Cook, as the cook is in the kitchen for the first time in 3 games.
WGR Sports Radio 550 in Buffalo.
WGR 550 blocks.
64-yard touchdown for Dalvin's little brother. He ran for 216 yards, 2 touchdowns. Josh Allen also ran for 2 touchdowns as well.
As a matter of fact, Allen improved to 8-0 following the bye week and established an NFL record by becoming the first player to run and throw for a touchdown in 46 games, breaking the mark previously held by former Panthers QB Cam Newton. Just a little trivia for you.
One NFC North team went down yesterday.
Ravens have it first and goal. 2:19 left to play. Offset eye. Give it to Henry. Right side hit at the line. Bounces to the outside. Derrick Henry to the 1. Touchdown Ravens! And with 2:09 left to play, we've waited a month, but the hay's in the barn.
2 touchdowns for Derrick Henry on the WBAL WIYY Ravens Game Day Network. Tyler Huntley off the practice squad and starting. He goes 17 of 22, 186 yards, 1 touchdown, no interception. So an efficient game for the Ravens, who for the first time, their defense looked like they had some life as they win 30-16 over the Chicago Bears.
Critical point in the game, Caleb Williams threw just an awful interception deep in Bears territory that was returned for, I think it was a pick six, was it not? If not, it led to a touchdown because it was deep in their own territory. And I still don't know what to make of that kid, Tenney, because I think he was considered generational quarterback, first pick overall. Everybody said he was can't miss. Struggled with the Bears, and Eberflus was the head coach, and that they were, as Rosen would like to say, they were a hot mess. Well, then Ben Johnson comes to town, and you're thinking offensive coordinator, really good with Detroit, helped, he had a great partnership with Jared Goff. But the Williams kid, I think he's shown some improvement. But I mean, I don't know if you saw the pick, but it's just like, I don't know how you throw that pass. I don't know how you don't see that guy cutting right in front. But he's still a work in progress for the Bears.
Houston Texans took down the San Francisco 49ers at home.
A good Moali in the backfield, CJ in the gun. Bunch formation left on 3rd and 7 at the San Francisco 30. Here's pressure. CJ over the middle. Caught. 15, 10, 5 into the end zone. Rock and roll. Touchdown, Houston.
Who is it?
What a play to Xavier Hutchinson.
Who?
X marks the spot.
C.J. Stroud kind of looking like the C.J. Stroud we saw his rookie season. 30 of 39, 318 yards, 2 touchdowns. That, by the way, was Texans radio on Sports Radio 610. And the Houston Texans improved to 3-4 with a 26-15 win over the San Francisco 49ers.
Meanwhile, Mac Jones, who's played pretty well in place of the injured Brock Purdy, had trouble getting the offense going. He threw for 193 yards, 2 tutties. That was his 4th straight game and 6th this season. Niners fall to 5-3.
And Christian McCaffrey just 25 yards rushing as well.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay. You like Baker Mayfield.
The Bucs are going to go for it on 4th down and less than a yard to our right. Mayfield again under center. Send the tight end in motion. Tucker running to his right. Dives toward the end zone. Did he get it in? It's a touchdown, Tampa Bay. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers offense finally punches it in.
I tell you, he didn't make it by much, but he made it.
Yeah, Sean Tucker with the 1-yard run on the Buccaneers radio network. Not a lot of offense for Tampa Bay in this one, but their defense was good, including they got a pick 6 for a touchdown as well. They beat the New Orleans Saints on the road 23-3.
Your guy, one of us, Antoine Winfield Jr.,
he was brilliant.
A fumble and intercepted a pass for the Bucs. And Bucs edge rusher Anthony Nelson had an interception for a tutty to go with a forced fumble and 2 sacks. So a defensive battle between the Saints and the Buccaneers.
What one? Because I just saw the highlight of it. Was it the interception or the fumble where it got called dead? It got whistled down. So he would have returned that, I think, for a tutty, but it got whistled down, if I recall. How about the Denver Broncos offense just rolling it up on Dallas?
3rd down and goal from the 5. Gives them a chance to score a touchdown. Harvey resets to the left of Nix, 3 to the right. Harvey in the flat, wide open. Harvey gathers it in, tiptoes into the end zone. Touchdown, Denver. Bo Nix's 4th touchdown pass of the game. And for R.J. Harvey, that is his 3rd touchdown. First by pass. And with 7:14 left in this one, it is all but over in the Mile High City. It's Denver 43, Dallas 17.
Yeah, they kicked the extra point, and that was the final. 44-24, the Broncos over the Cowboys. That was on KOA Denver. Quite the box score for Denver. Bo Nix, 4 touchdown passes, including that one to R.J. Harvey, which is one of 3 touchdowns for him. J.K. Dobbins, 111 yards rushing. Trey Franklin, 6 catches, 89 yards, and 2 tutties at the receiver position.
And he did the 111 on only 15 carries as well. The Broncos have now won 5 straight overall, 9 in a row at home. That's the longest home winning streak in the NFL.
How about those Indianapolis Colts?
Under center, Jones on 1st down. They give it to Taylor. Left side. He's at the 20, 25, 30, 35. Down the sideline, 40, 50-yard line. Still going. Taylor up in the sideline. He's got a chance. 10, 5, touchdown! Jonathan Taylor takes it 80 yards to the house. Tight roping that left sideline. No problem for the great running back going right now. It's the longest rush this season for the Colts and for Taylor. The Colts now lead 23-7.
As we
The Fan in 97.1 Hank FM, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns. Daniel Jones, good again, 21 of 29 for 272 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. As the Colts seemingly put up nearly 40 points every week, they win 38-14 over Tennessee.
JT did it on only 12 carries. That's his 4th 100-yard game this season. He's the league's leading rusher. How about this, Tenby, for a trivia question? A bit of trivia. Taylor also scored 3 TDs against the Titans in each of their previous 2 meetings, making him the first player in league history to have 3 tutties in 3 consecutive games against the same team. I don't know who had to look that up, who tracks those things, but it's mighty impressive, and I would guess JT is Tennessee's worst nightmare.
And then the Sunday night game last night, it was Jordan Love versus Aaron Rodgers, Rodgers versus his old team, and Pittsburgh had a lead for a good chunk of this game until this point.
Love in the shotgun with Wilson to his left. Love points to his right, brings Watson in motion from that side. Play clock is at 14. Love gets the snap. He's back to pass. Looks, fires over the middle. That's caught inside the 15, down to the 10, angling left 5, into the end zone. Touchdown Green Bay. Tucker Kraft again, his 2nd of the night. This one from 24. And with 10:57 to go, the Packer lead is 28-19.
Westwood won on the call last night. You heard that right here on the Fan. Tucker Kraft, 7 catches, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns. By the way, they drafted a tight end before him in that draft.
Yeah.
Luke Musgrave, they drafted first. Then they drafted Tucker Kraft. He's turned out to be the better one. Jordan Love was brilliant last night. 29 of 37 for 360 yards and 3 touchdowns. And I believe how many did he complete it consecutively? Wasn't it over 20?
I think it said...
I don't remember the exact number, but I thought it was 20 plus. He completed in a row.
29 out of 37, like you say, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. The tight end, what's his name again?
Tucker Kraft.
Like you said, where did they find this guy? This guy's as good as any tight end I've seen, and this isn't just the first game he's done this. He can flat out play. They did a little...
He played for South Dakota State.
Yeah, well, and they said he came from some town.
9-man football?
Yeah, 9-man football, the whole thing. They did a little bit on it last night during the game.
He's their best receiving option.
Yeah, I'll accept apologies from people regarding when I just got destroyed by people when I said, well, I think Green Bay made the right decision in drafting Jordan Love. No, they didn't. They're primed to win a big game. They needed to get a receiving threat for Aaron Rodgers. Well, no, they didn't need to get a receiving threat for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is supposed to elevate receivers. That's what you do. You make your receivers better. I love saying it, and I'm going to say it again. And I don't like repeating myself, and I don't like talking about myself, and I don't like blowing my own horn. But as the general manager, you're the caretaker of a franchise, and if you think you have a franchise quarterback, you might be wrong, but if you think you do, you got to get him. Jordan Love is a franchise. Does everybody agree now, or do people still think the jury's still out on Jordan Love? Is he the best quarterback in football? No, but he's top 10 for sure, maybe even...
I mean, ultimately, it's one of those hypotheticals we'll never know, right? Like, at the time, Aaron Rodgers, Hall of Famer, you still thought you had prime Aaron Rodgers, and you thought you were one receiver away from winning a big game. So I still understand. We'll never know if they would have drafted T. Higgins, let's say, whether that's enough to push them over the edge. And as good as Jordan Love is, he still has to do it in the postseason as well to prove that side of it.
But I don't know if you know this, Tennessee. I'm going to teach you something if you don't.
Okay.
Quarterback's the most important position in all sports, not just football, but all sports.
I hadn't considered that before.
So, yeah, you're right. Maybe if they drafted T. Higgins, that would have been enough to get in there. We'll never know. And you're right. We don't know what Jordan Love is, what's in front of him for the rest of his career. But when you're talking quarterback and you think you got a franchise, like with the Vikings, they thought J.J. McCarthy's a franchise quarterback. Well, we'll find out. There's the jury is still up there. But, yeah, they were... And that tie, it makes everything weird, right? Because it can work for you and it can work against you, right? Because right now, if Detroit is 5-2, Green Bay's 5-1-1, they have a half-game lead. But if Detroit wins and Green Bay loses, then Green Bay's a half game out. So, but that tie to Dallas really throws things up. I don't think we're going to see a tie for the division championship, in other words.
And so what, are the Vikings 2.5 games out of first. Is that the math?
It's not over yet. If McCarthy's brilliant, we get Darrisaw and O'Neill back, and B-Flow gets the defense playing like it's supposed to, it might not be over yet, Tenneby.
Well, speaking of Darrisaw, he spoke with the media today. This is Kevin Seifert at Seifert ESPN on X. He writes, Christian Darrisaw said today that he was originally told it would take a full year, 365 days for him to return from his torn ACL, MCL. He said things are trending in the right direction, but still considers himself ahead of schedule despite leaving 3 games early. Darrisaw said, quote, I came back way earlier than anyone had projected for me. I've played in more games than I thought I would at this point already.
What's his point? Is he going to play this Sunday? That's I think.
I still say if you're only playing half the games, why are you playing them at all?
I'm with you.
Why are we coming back early if you can only play half of them?
Yeah, and then it goes back to that. We talked about this earlier, and it's a subject that's come up for years. If a guy doesn't come back right away, and if it sounds like he's sort of kind of defended himself because I think there is that going around that. Well, why aren't you ready? You're kind of soft, aren't you? Why aren't you playing? We need you. I mean, the team needs you. Everybody, you know, if you're able to suit up, you should play. But you're talking about guys' careers and especially where they are in the season now. I don't know, especially another loss or two. Is it really going to matter? I'd rather have them healthy for next year. That's just me. Tenneby, I had a great time today. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Great job.
Yeah, you as well. We really enjoyed our visit with you today. I can guarantee you that. Enjoy the rest of your day. We're back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. PJ Flex Show at 12 noon. But stick around. Big Ticket JG, they're next. Right here on on what we affectionately call FM 100.3, the Fan.
Good night, folks, and good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are.
Well done, young man!
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.